Hey everyone, so please forgive me if I sound absolutely terrible. I am massively sick right now with a cold. My kids got sick probably over the weekend, and then they got better, and then of course, just as soon as they're getting better and are full of energy, I get sick. So I feel better today than I did yesterday. Yesterday I could barely get out of bed. And my throat is so sore, it hurts so bad. But I really wanted to do a quick video for you guys on how to, when you feel just dead, like absolute crap, don't want to do anything, but you have to. You have to go to the grocery store, you have to go to your kid's school, you have to go to work, whatever you have to do that day. At least show you a couple tips and tricks and a makeup look that you can put together really quick that doesn't take a lot of effort because I'm just drained and I don't have the energy to show you how to do anything fancy right now. That can just make you look not so exhausted and more presentable for going out in public. The first thing I did was I actually, my hair was a holy mess. It hasn't been washed. I think I'm on 3rd day hair now. I used some dry shampoo. I used the Batiste in the brown can with a little bit of, it's got a little bit of color in it. So I used some of that in my hair, let it sit, worked it in, and then I swept all my hair over to the side and I did a really quick fishtail braid. If you don't have the energy to do a fishtail, you can do a standard braid or just pull it into a side ponytail or a side bun real quick. The reason I suggest pulling your hair off to the side is so that if you get exhausted, you need to lay down. When you go to lay down, you don't have a hairdo or hair ties poking into the back of your head. So it's much more comfortable when you don't feel good. Then I washed my face. I moisturized really well. I used a night cream because the one I use is light enough to use during the day as well. But it has a ton of vitamins in it to really help plump up my skin because when you're sick, your skin looks just dehydrated and worn out and just not good. So really, if you can't do anything else, at least take a makeup wipe and remove any of the old oils from overnight and throw on some moisturizer. Even if you're not going anywhere, you don't want to do the makeup, at least do that. At least do that to take care of your skin because it will seem like unnecessary at the time, but you'll feel a lot better. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to do some just really quick basic makeup that will help hide the under eye circles, the redness around your nose, and really wake up and brighten up your eyes. I'm using my CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 foundation. You can use a BB cream if you want. I don't tend to use BB creams. I would suggest not using when you're sick as a time to experiment with makeup. Use it as a time to do a much simpler version of something you already know how to do. So I'm just going to grab my brush and blend that in real quick. I'm not using a lot, about half a pump, which is about the size of a small pea. Next, I'm using my Instant Age Rewind for underneath my eyes. I'm just going to pat that under. And I'm also going to pat this around my nose. Normally I would use a heavier concealer, but since your nose is going to be very dry and cakey from being sick, you don't want to put anything too heavy there because A, it's probably going to get wiped off anyway if you're blowing your nose constantly, and B, you don't want anything too thick that is A, going to show any dry skin you have there, or is going to accentuate any roughness. I'm just going to pat that under around my nose, blend that in. pop a little bit on a small blemish I have down here. It's thankfully healing. And then go and blend underneath my eyes. If your eyes are puffy, when you wash your face, the one thing you want to do is when you're done washing it, take a rag, soak it with cold water, wring it out, and lay it over your face. Let it sit there until the rag starts to warm up, and do it about 2 or 3 more times. When I'm sick, my entire face puffs up. Really helps bring down the swelling and calms any redness. So I'm using my Maybelline Dream Bouncy blush in Fresh Pink. You don't want to use anything that is orange based or purple based. You want to go for as pure and light a blush as possible. I'm just taking that on 2 fingers, patting it in the apples of my cheeks and blending it in. We're not doing any contouring here. I'm not even going to bother with any highlighting either, because when you're sick, there's usually quite enough hollows in your face and in your cheeks that it's really not necessary. Again, very, very light on the blush. If you go too dark on your blush, it's going to make you look more fevered, which, again, not a great thing. So next, I'm going to do my eyebrows. This is an optional step. If you have good eyebrows, then by all means, feel free to skip this step. I do not. Mine are virtually invisible. They're actually darker now because I dyed them recently. But when they're natural, they literally are the color of my skin. So I always make sure to do my brows. Sorry, my throat hurts so bad. I'm just using my NYX Eyebrow Cake Powder here in Taupe. I'm using the lighter shade today since I'm doing lighter makeup. If I do a heavier, more dramatic eye, then I use the darker side. And sometimes I will put 2 of them together and I'll use the lighter on the inside and the darker towards the tail, because most people's eyebrows are naturally darker at the tail. Not mine. Mine are lighter. Now that those are done, I'm going to move on to my eyelids. I'm going to grab my Urban Decay Primer Potion, of course my favorite. I know you're thinking, wait, this is supposed to be simple. Why are you using eye primer? Because I'm not going to want to have to reapply my eye makeup in 2 hours. That's why I'm wearing eye primer. Because it takes 2 seconds, and it ensures that if I decide to take a short nap, if I want to or I have time to, then when I wake up, my makeup is still going to be in place. For my eyeshadow, I'm just going to be using the Wet n Wild Walking on Eggshells palette. Really, really cute little palette. It has kind of a shimmery pink eyelid shade, a taupey brown crease shade, and then a nice eggshell shimmer shade for your brow bone. And I'm doing this with 1 brush. I'm just grabbing a flat shader brush. I'm going to start by patting the light pinky, it's more of a peach shade. It's more of a peach shade than a pink really, but I call it a pink. I'm going to blend that all over my eyelid. I'm going to take a little bit of my crease shade. Just blend that in. I'm not going for anything fancy. I just want to add a little bit of shadow in there. And then grabbing the other side of my brush, I'm taking this brow bone shade and just running that underneath my eyebrow and in the inner corner of my eye. And that's pretty much my basic eye look. It isn't very noticeable. It doesn't look like you're wearing a lot of makeup because personally when I'm sick, I don't want to really cake it on. It's a very neutral look that whether you're going grocery shopping, going to work, whatever, you know that you can reach for that one neutral palette, do your eyes the same way if you're sick, and you don't have to think about it. You don't have to think about what color shadows go together. You just put it on. You just do it. You just put it on and you know it looks good and that you look polished and together, and that's it. So, got that done. I'm taking just a dark brown eyeliner. I'm just going to tightline my upper lid here real quick. The thicker your lash line looks, usually the healthier you look. So that really helps. And then I'm taking my NYX Wonder Pencil in light. I'd suggest if you're sick, not using a white pencil in your waterline. Find a flesh colored pencil. I've also heard that the Rimmel Scandalize in Nude is really good, but this is the one I use and I love it. What this does is it really helps neutralize the redness that usually gathers in the rims of your eyes when you are sick. So next I'm going to just curl my eyelashes. And then I'm just going to apply one coat of my favorite mascara. Alright, and our eyes are done. They look a lot more bright and awake and cheerful and friendly, and it doesn't look like we just want to crawl back into bed. So that is a huge, huge improvement. The only thing left is lips. Today I'm going to be using the Revlon Just Spit In Kissable Balm Stain in the shade Smitten. Alright, and here is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. So make sure to subscribe below if you haven't yet. And I'm also on, I have a blog, it's joannabrooks.net. I put more details about my videos on there. I have recipes, I've got all kinds of stuff. It's a fun place to check out, so go ahead and do that. And you can also keep up with me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. All the links are below, so I'm pretty much everywhere. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Bye.